This is Supernatural Selection on DeviantBehaviorRadio.com, hosted by Kevin the Bastard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supernatural Selection. We are Kevin the Bastard and Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how you doing tonight?
I don't quite believe I am the skeptic, though.
Really?
I mean, I'm a skeptic, so I have to be skeptical about myself, too, right?
So you have to doubt the skepticism of your being a I'm confused and drunk.
Yes.
So, the reason we're drinking tonight is, once again, we
It's
typically...
a buffer.
It really is a buffer. We typically only get this hammered if we're talking about something that's like...
Stupid.
I can't cope with this sober, Mike.
I watched you reading it, and you looked like you were having an aneurysm.
I really felt like my brain was going to fucking pop. So, this week, we're discussing alternative history viewpoints and alternative viewpoints on the flow of time. So, in essence, a brief history of dumbass time.
There's controversy about this? Really? I mean,
Only in the sense that someone thought of it, said it to the public, and we had to hear it.
I think we're missing out on lucrative areas by not coming up with our own stupid shit.
I agree. I still think we need a cult like the crustaceanists that we came up with at work, where we worship crabs. Now, I don't know if you guys know anything about this sort of stuff. We've got 3 topics to cover this episode. So, let's start with the phantom time hypothesis.
I didn't know about this one.
Okay.
This is new to me.
I'd heard about it because of
I only knew about one of these things going in.
Time Cube.
Yes.
Okay, so we're covering the phantom time hypothesis, the new chronology, which was kind of new to me, because I've listened to like a lot of podcasts and watched a lot of shows, or YouTube videos, Anyway, I've gathered a lot of information about phantom time. The new chronology is kind of unique in that it's a very, I'm trying to think of the term here, nationalistic approach to rewriting history.
Oh, it's political.
It's political. And then there's Time Cube, which is...
Time Cube is definitely one of those internet things that just goes way back.
Yeah, like, this is old school internet, like Homestar Runner.
Yeah, like early 2000s, everybody heard about Time Cube.
Late 90s, early 2000s, definitely.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really online. None of us were really online in the late 90s.
A little bit.
I mean, none of us, you and me.
Yeah, well. So, let's talk about the phantom time hypothesis. This is the one we're going to start with because this is, unfortunately, this is the most sane of the 3 topics.
So we're doing a progression from sanest to least sane?
This is like a volcano roll in that it starts off mild and by the end you're going to put a fucking gun to your head. So, the phantom time hypothesis is most simply summed up as the idea that the Middle Ages just didn't fucking happen.
The Middle Ages.
To be specific, from the years 614 AD, or CE, the Common Era, to 911 CE, the early Middle Ages, just that whole 300-year period just didn't fucking happen. That's 297 years faked.
Just made up whole cloth is what they're claiming.
And all this, and I've heard several people assigned to this, but the major perpetrator of this theory is a Heribert Illig, or Illig, depending on your pronunciation. And this theory was first published in 1991. And the theory goes as follows. Holy Roman Emperor Otto III and Pope Sylvester II, who was an underling that he appointed, made up the early Middle Ages to legitimize Otto's reign as the Holy Roman Emperor by saying that it extended 300 years into the past. So they made up Charlemagne, the first Holy Roman Emperor chosen by the popes. Now, the reason for this being that, number one, they wanted to legitimize it, and also it would be way cooler if they were in the year 1000 instead of, I guess, the year, what was it again? The year 614.
So, I'm assuming they would have, political adversaries and shit even back then going on.
I'm guessing,
and no one could be like, no, dog, no, that I have like history back then.
I got a calendar with dates and shit, and
my great grandmama said, we lost 3 chickens.
I'm sorry, I just love the idea of my great aunt Meemaw in the fucking year 1000 being like, no, dude, you fucked on this one, man. Okay, so here's the deal. Heribert Illig, his proof for this is amazing. The Julian calendar has been around since, and bear in mind, I am inebriated, so I'm going to try to explain this as best I can, knowing full well that math is not my strong suit. Okay. But, alright, so the Julian calendar has been in existence since the year 45 BC, right?
Okay.
Since Julius Caesar set it up.
That was the previous calendar.
That's a previous calendar. We're currently on the Gregorian calendar, if you guys don't know. The Julian calendar has been around since 45 BC, and it was fairly accurate, but not quite, in the fact that there was a drift of over, I want to say something like 1,000 years, that there was a drift of 10 days. Like, we would be 10 days off after 1,000 years. All right? Okay. And Illig says this is a huge deal. And saying that by the time of Otto III, it would have been a 13-day drift. Mm-hmm. That's their proof.
So saying that it should have been...
So...
it should have been 13, but they were only seeing 10 days, so therefore those 300 years didn't happen.
So saying that Otto reset the timeline so that there will be that
plot of the
phantom
Loki show.
I don't know if it is, dude. You're confusing me because I've had well,
you're talking about timelines and all.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that those 3 days are accounted for if you subtract those 300 years that were made up. All right? Mm-hmm. All right. So, that, of course, means phantom time. And also, one of the other things is, his other proof is, Roman architecture being used in the 10th century. And, there was this period called the Carolingian Renaissance during that time period that sort of came out of nowhere and then just stopped. And I'm like, okay, well, this is also the period the Black Death happened when a lot of motherfuckers died, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of why the Carolingian, the word I said, Renaissance. I'm sorry, I've drank so I can deal with Time Cube later. You're going to have to pay for it now so I can deal with it later. The point is, the Carolingian Renaissance stopped because a whole bunch of motherfuckers started dying, I'm guessing. There's a lot that happened in the early Middle Ages. And it is a little curious, but we're also talking about a period where the Catholic Church gained a lot of power and was like, stop all that fucking learning.
Yeah.
Make sense to you so far?
Sure.
Okay, from my point of view, which is a fucking rational person trying to explain why this is bullshit. Okay. So, phantom time. Now, the reason that their math is completely fucking wrong in every possible respect that matters is in the year 325 of the Common Era was the Council of Nicaea. Now, the big thing about all this, and I need to bring this up, is Easter.
Like with the rabbits and the eggs?
Yeah, that shit. You know, Jesus coming up and leaving eggs for people.
No, Jesus doesn't matter.
No, Jesus turns into a rabbit and delivers eggs.
Oh, yeah.
That's how that works. So, there was going to be a 10-day drift of the day Easter occurred on. That's how they measured it because, believe it or not, before America, before England even, Christmas really didn't fucking matter. Nobody gave a shit. It was the resurrection that was important because it was the basis of Christianity. All right?
Yeah. Jesus didn't mean shit until he resurrected, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like, okay, he was born. Who gives a fuck? What matters is that he died and came back. Which, when you think about that, actually makes sense because the entire religion is based on the resurrection of a dude, a dirty desert wizard.
Yeah.
So
it's not like they didn't observe Christmas. It's just it wasn't a big deal.
It was just.
It's kind of flip flop because now it's kind of like nowadays Christmas is the big shit. Easter's kind of like, oh, whatever. You get some candy, hide some eggs.
Easter just happens.
Yeah.
Christmas is the big shit now. So okay, Easter was the big thing. Now the Council of Nicaea. Are you familiar with the Council of Nicaea, Mike?
Absolutely not. Don't know who the fuck they are.
Okay, the Council of Nicaea was basically when a bunch of church fathers got together and decided in the year 325 AD, okay, we've got a shit ton of books of the Bible. At the time, we did not have the Christian Bible as we know it today with the canonical books, you know? Mm-hmm. Because the Book of Enoch was in there, the Gospel of Judas was in there. The Gospel of Joseph, Jesus' brother, was in there. The Bible was like fucking everything, including the fan fiction. Okay? To throw it all out there. It
was like an Encyclopedia Britannica.
It wasn't even that. It was basically fanfiction.net. With a shit ton of scrolls.
I was just imagining like a whole set of books.
Oh, yeah, no, it was fucking massive. So the Council of Nicaea came together to basically go, all right, look, we're having a lot of problem with like people believing all kinds of crazy shit. Because the Book of Enoch included like Enochian magic, had the story of like the Watchers, which is where the Nephilim come in. The Watchers were like set to watch humans and were like, them bitches is hot. And came down and fucked them and gave birth to giants and shit.
So what you're saying is we don't have all the Bible. We're missing all the cool stuff from the Bible.
I'm not lying, dude. We are missing the coolest shit from the Bible because of the Council of Nicaea.
Sounds like if that shit was still there, I might, have read the Bible.
You need to go and look up the non-canonical books of the Bible because this shit is so fucking badass. It is like science fiction, Wheel of Time, crazy shit going on. Like the book of like the Gospel of Joseph talks about Jesus' birth and like time freezes so the fucking magi can get there. Like crazy science fiction shit happens in these books. And the Council of Nicaea was like, well, there's no goddamn way this is getting in the canonical Bible. They went through and chose which books were gonna be in the Bible. And at the end, they're like, how do we end this? Revelation. The craziest goddamn book we've got is going to be the end of the Bible. And they also decided, okay, Easter's drifted from the day we're supposed to be celebrating it by 3 days. Let's set it back to the day it's supposed to be. So, at 325 AD, they realized the drift was there and set it back. So that 13-year gap that is so important to Phantom Time
was already
corrected. Exactly. So the calendar was reset to no drift. Here's the first problem. When they did this, what does Otto get from all this? Otto the Third. What does he get? Okay. It's like, okay, my reign is legitimized. You know what else the problem is? He didn't do shit. He had to reconquer all these territories to regain the Ottoman Empire, right?
Okay.
Okay, because and I need to point this out, between like Charlemagne's immediate heirs and what have you, and Otto, the Holy Roman Empire fell the fuck apart.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a cult with a cult of personality, you know? It's like Jim Jones, you know? It's like if he hadn't killed everybody, they probably would have drifted off, and then somebody would have had to, like, try to get them all back together. So that's what Otto did, is he was like, I'm going to rebuild the Holy Roman Empire, crown myself the Holy Roman Emperor, and rule this shit. Okay, what does he gain by saying, no, man, I'm just the next in line? Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a goddamn thing. In fact, he makes himself look like a little bitch, pardon my French.
Yeah.
He gets nothing.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that. Then let's look at the world. All right, the world at large. Let's say that 300 years didn't happen. Let's look at a few of the things that happened in the goddamn world during this time period that they said did not occur. First off, this is when Muhammad was around and founded Islam.
Well, yeah.
Okay. China, for lack of a better term, fucking happened. The Tang Dynasty, the golden age of China, was during this non-existent 300 years. And the Mayan Empire occurred. Alright?
Yeah.
You're basically asking us to discount all that shit.
Well, no, you're...
And the Chinese, being the fucking bookkeepers that they are, have meticulous records
Here's
of
the
this.
thing, is that you wouldn't be discounting all that. You wouldn't say that didn't happen because they're all on competing, or coexisting times measures.
Sure.
It'd be like a slide rule. One, you'd be pulling one back, just to play devil's advocate here. You'd pulling one back, but the others would still be there. You'd just be like, instead of, these two times lining up, they'd line up differently. But you would be able to easily, by having all these other, time scales, like they line up at this point, now, well, then you'd easily be able to tell, well, 400 years ago, how did they line up back then? Because I'm sure there's common,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
occurrences.
It's all astrological. That's the great thing. You can measure it by the movement of the stars in the sky. Mm-hmm. And as we both know, the Middle East and Asia, they love that shit. They measured it. And, like, it's just... I'm speechless right now because, like, this is so stupid. Basically, we have comprehensive knowledge of this period from other cultures, just not Europe, because white people are stupid at this point in history.
Well,
they're going through a lot, okay? Yeah, let's say that. They're going through a lot.
It's that there was so much loss of,
We lost history. Rome. We lost Rome, and Europe fell into disrepair for a long period there.
I mean, it's called the Dark Ages for a reason.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the Dark Ages because, things were terrible. It's Dark Ages because we don't have a lot of archaeological information from there because...
we don't have a lot of historical record.
Here's a great way to look at it. Europe went through an apocalypse.
Pretty much, yes.
A cultural apocalypse.
Not even just one. It was like a couple. There was...
Yeah, the fall of the Roman Empire, the fucking plague, all that shit happened. And it just like, yeah. I mean, like, we lost a lot of fucking knowledge in Europe because of that. So, having said that, I hate to always, like, side with Mike on this stuff, just being, like, Kev the Skeptic with Mike the Skeptic, but, like, come on, man, I'm a big student of history, and this is just this was the dumbest idea before I found out about these others. Alright?
Yeah.
So, that's the basic gist of the Phantom Time hypothesis.
Yeah, I give it a 3 Mike dumbass stars.
Out of 10 or 5? Out of 5. Okay, good. Perfect. All right, we got a thing there. Now, let's talk about one that's relatively new to me because it's really strange.
You're going to be talking a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
For this second. I'm going to make me another drink.
Okay, we're gonna just like...
You keep talking.
You want me to keep talking?
Yeah, because...
You sure about that?
It won't take me but a
That's a big old jug of rum you got there, buddy. Okay, so next, we're going to talk about that. I can hear that Duke over here. So, that's a lot of rum, dude. I don't know that it necessarily justifies that much rum.
That's for Time Cube.
That's for Time Cube. Okay. So, the next thing we're going to be talking about is something that's new to me called the New Chronology. The basic premise here, and Mike, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The basic premise of the New Chronology is that all of history during the Middle Ages was rewritten to push Rome and ancient Egypt and Greece further into the past because they happened during the same 300-year period as Phantom Time. That's the thing that really fascinates me, is that this all takes place during the same 300-year period, basically 600 to 900 AD, saying that they pushed Rome and Egypt and Greece back by like 600 to 1,000 years to cover up the fact that there was a global Russian monarchy that ruled the entire earth called the Russian Horde.
So, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, archaeologically, like all over Europe.
Mistakes. Actually, no. Conspiracy to hide the Russian.
No, all over Europe. You can find Roman shit, right?
Uh-huh.
All over Britain,
Yep.
all of continental Europe and stuff, Roman shit.
Happened 1,000 years sooner than we thought.
Where's the Russian shit?
Hidden by the global conspiracy to hide the Russian Horde.
So,
now, I want to say that this is originally, it's a pseudo-historical conspiracy theory proposed by Anatoly Fomenko.
So this the only thing I can really say about that is it comes back to my usual take on conspiracies. It's like there's so many actors out there that could make their name by
Actors or archaeologists?
I say actors as in anybody, in the whole thing.
Personalities.
That if this was true, could make their name by proving it was true. Like someone with just some hard evidence of this. Because if there was this conspiracy, that means there's archaeologists out there finding evidence of this and hiding it. Or destroying it.
All of them. Every single one of them that's ever lived for the last 1,000 years has hidden all evidence of this global Russian conspiracy.
All it would take would be one of them
saying,
I could become famous by revealing this.
Now, this has been latched onto by Russian imperialist fandom, for the most part, saying that, oh, look what communism robbed us of. Which is funny, since Putin seems to like this theory, because it says Russia ruled the earth. And, there's not a lot more to it.
So the people that are in favor of this are against communism?
It's hard to say because Putin has latched onto this. I think it's more of just not necessarily the article I read said a lot about a Russian imperialist love this. I'm like, wouldn't just Russians love this in general and be like, see, this is our rightful place, kind of like Germans and the Aryans.
I was gonna say this is sounding very Thule society and very.
It's so Thulean. It is so.
Is that a term we could use now? Thulean for.
Yeah.
For something that rewriting history for political.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Let's go for it.
It's Thulean.
It's Thulean, not Tholian.
That's
You're
a Star
Trekker.
Trek.
That's a Trek.
Were those the guy with the lines?
Yes, the Tholian web.
Yeah.
That had like the ship fading in and out of the dimension. But this is Thulean, which is like this bizarre alternate history German Nazi thing that said Aryans were the source of everything. I don't know. Whatever made Hitler get hard at night. The point is, this is very similar to that.
Because wasn't he impotent?
Probably. It probably would take like
someone that angry.
Ach, Germany is so awesome. Oh, look at my boner, Eva. Please come and suck my German boner. But the point... Fuck, why did I do that? Anyway, the point is, Germany... Fuck! Russia, again, drinks because of Time Cube. So... Russia basically ruled the world at some point in the past, and European monks couldn't deal with this shit. So they made up all of the Middle Ages to cover up the fact that Russia ruled the world. Again, the Russian horde.
So you realize by this becoming public, we're probably painting a target for Putin. We'll probably get Russian hacked.
I don't give 2/3 of a shit at this point because...
Please, Daddy Putin, don't hack us.
Please, Daddy Putin, please save our lives. We didn't mean nothing. The point is, I'm not even really saying whether this is real or not. I don't care. The point is, it's just the amount of effort.
So yeah, it's just bananas. But so you're saying we've had the Phantom Times saying 300 years didn't happen, and you have the new chronology saying there's an extra 300 years just created.
I guess the problem here is that nobody wants to take credit for the early Middle Ages. Like, if this historical period were a student in modern elementary school and got on the school bus, it shit its pants and everybody just, like, migrated away. And there's, like, this protective stink bubble around it.
Like we said before, that period in European history sucked dick.
It really did. Like, it was not the worst time to be alive, but pretty close.
I mean, your odds of having a really shitty life back then.
I apologize for the noise you're hearing. One of our cats has decided to dig to China in a cardboard box because she is intensely stupid, but super cute.
She likes getting in a cardboard box and trying to dig in it.
Yes.
Luckily, she doesn't poop in them.
Now, what was you were saying something there.
I forgot.
God damn this alcohol in my brain.
But no,
we're talking about the amount of effort and everything that went into this conspiracy, were it true.
I mean, it just seems like a lot of work, doesn't it? I mean,
like,
you have to get everybody on board.
Well, somebody also had to have the idea. Somebody had to be sitting there in a monastery in Europe going, Brother Maynard, you know what I hate the most? In life, all of life. Fucking Russia. Fuck those assholes. I hated the Tsars. Let's just make up some shit. And then everybody decided this is a much better idea than the truth.
I mean, there wasn't like just this one monastery keeping time. And everybody else was stupid as fuck, right? At Europe, right?
Europe alone, yeah. I mean,
back then,
then like the rest of the fucking world.
Several fucking countries. All keeping track of time independently. Like their own. I mean, they were on the same calendar.
Do people forget there was an internet? There was no internet.
I mean, do they think that that time was only kept by like 5 dudes in a monastery in
with pigeons.
Fucking England, and everybody else no-toed, and like they were like, oh, what day is it? I don't know. Send a pigeon to the monastery so they can tell us what day it is.
It's actually the year 1000, and there was a place called Rome.
No, I mean, there was all these other, systems of government that had their own record keepers that, and so these monks all of a sudden saying, hey, it's actually 300 years in the future. They'd go like, I'm
calling bullshit.
No.
Yesterday it was 6/13.
That throws off our whole schedule of, shit.
Yeah, like, I think the word
I think the word I'm looking for, sir, is, fuck you.
Or, actually, maybe they would be on board with it because they'd be like, that means I can collect 300 years of back taxes.
Holy shit, can you imagine getting that? Like, some dude knocking on your door just, excuse me, sir, but I'm the tax collector. Yes, I'm here. I'm going to go ahead and pay this year's taxes, and, yes, it turns out you owe 300 years worth. Shit! What am I going to do? I don't know, man. That's just, it's insane. Now, here's a question, Mike. Like, with these two first theories that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Why would you, like, I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about the conspiracies.
You're talking about
I'm talking about Flamenco and Illig.
Why would they?
Why would they, why even?
So they saw an inconsistency.
What does Mike the skeptic think?
They perceived an inconsistency, right? Well, okay, so the first guy, Illig, he perceived
with his bad math.
He perceived an inconsistency of 300 years, not taken into. I guess he maybe didn't see the memo about the
Council of Nicaea
changing, that. So he saw that, and then he ran fucking wild with it.
Okay.
And just created this idea.
And out of all the three, again, this is the one I could be like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be a great sci-fi movie.
So he did that. I could see that.
Okay.
The flamenco one, I mean, even though it's kind of the same thing, it's maybe kind of dovetails and could almost be, complementary to.
It's also kind of racist. Because, Russia's better than you.
Well, it's not racist. It's just kind of.
It's German.
It's not political. What I'm looking for. It's
geocentric.
Yeah, it's
geocentric being that our section of the world is what, and technically the other one is too, because Europe's the only thing that matters. China's over there going motherfucker, I got a calendar.
I guess political is right. I mean, it's more of maybe currying for political favor, saying, "Oh, Russia's great. We ruled the world by this. Putin, please recognize me, Senpai Putin."
Here's the other thing about this whole thing. If it was Russia ruling the world, what the fuck happened? You obviously fucked up bad enough that that's no longer the case. You obviously shit the bed on a geopolitical scale.
You got bested by the freaking druids and mud huts.
Oh god, dude, they definitely don't deserve to rule if they got busted by Celts in mud huts going, I'm gonna kill this cat. You imagine just being like, I'm gonna kill this cat. Fuck, we're done. We're done. He killed a cat. We gotta go back to the fucking Siberia and the steppes. We are doomed.
Yeah, I mean, I know empires rise and fall, but and to say it was a global empire too is
the whole goddamn world. Even the Native Americans.
Yeah, we have little sprinklings of maybe there was some Chinese contact with Native Americans and South Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
But definitely no Russian.
Yeah, nobody ever found a fucking Russian doll.
Or a turnip spire.
God. Or like potato vodka.
Ooh, vodka. That would be funny.
Ooh, man, if you found out, like, that, like, can you imagine? You're, like, excavating some ancient Mesoamerican site. There's a bottle of Kataka gets dug up. Just fucking Taka. My God, the Russians were here first. Oh, my God, that would be amazing. Let's back up to the original question. Why do this?
I mean,
like the first guy, okay, he's trying to fill a gap. The second guy, what was it? Trying to curry political favor.
Yeah, I mean, it just
and like
smacks
he
of
just
like,
likes the idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very Russo-centric, our countries, and not to say that other countries, America doesn't do shit like that too.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking pox-infested blankets. What are you talking about?
I mean, every country does that. I mean, Japan does it with, kind of covering up the nastier bits and amplifying the good ones, but it's still...
Japan does that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, every country does it.
Every country does it. Okay, that's fair.
But just smacks of some guy trying to maybe make a name of himself, have Senpai Putin notice him, and, maybe give him some grants or some shit.
I'm just picturing Putin licking his chode. I'm not gonna lie.
No, this guy licking Putin's chode.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So, we've come to some form of consensus here. So, now we're going to talk about what we have severely buffered ourselves toward. I want to point out, according to the recording, we're about 40 minutes into this, and that's been 2 topics. The last portion of this podcast is all going to be about one thing. Time Cube!
Time Cube.
Time Cube.
The only one of these I've actually heard about.
Man.
And read a little bit about back in the day.
Okay, so let's start with, what did you know about Time Cube going into this?
That it was batshit insane. Like, I mean, totally fucking insane.
I'm gonna make you feel good, Mike, because you're not fucking wrong.
I mean, I remember looking. I know I've went to the original website when it was still.
Oh, I did too, because I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Because it was everywhere for 15 minutes of internet fame.
15 years.
Well, but I mean, like,
I gotcha.
Like those, like everything, it had its moment where everybody's like, "Oh, look at this crazy shit," and you go there and you see these insane ramblings about like 4 days happening at once and shit, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's off his meds. Okay, that's crazy." Close the browser window because you didn't have tabs at the time,
and then you go masturbate.
Yeah, you go look at porn or
Yeah, you go look up something about Tenchi Moyo, and you fucking
go to Style Project and hate your life, or
whatever. You crank your knob, whatever. So let's talk about Time Cube for a second. Okay. Actually, longer than a second.
You gotta give me the deets on the Time Cube.
Oh, dude, you're gonna want to blow your brains out. Time Cube is the product of one Otis Eugene, quote unquote, Gene Ray, also known by the online handle Cubic.
So a preface.
Okay.
So for some reason, whenever I thought of Time Cube, I guess I saw part of his name or whatever. I thought it was an Asian dude.
Because of Cubic?
No.
A Ray?
Maybe.
Gene Ray?
Something made me think he had an Asian name.
Oh. Because I know you were talking about, reading his website. You were like, I remember when I was reading this stuff out loud at work and causing Clark Wayne to get, fucking brain tumors. You were like, well, English is obviously not this guy's first language. He's from Florida. He's American. He was born in America.
And he was fucking 80-something, when he did this.
He was 70-something when he did this, and 87 when he died. But he grew up on a goddamn cotton field in the South.
Jesus, I mean, I was way off in my expectations of what this guy was. I thought like
Time Cube does sound like some kind of a theory you would get from a mathematician.
I thought like 30s or 40s, Asian, fairly tech savvy, but insane. I mean, the insane part I knew.
You got that.
But everything else was completely fucking wrong.
Mike, can I tell you, you sound like every police force investigating a serial killer before the FBI gets involved. And that you were wrong on almost everything about this.
No, because I didn't say black.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so Otis Eugene Ray, his theory involves two major things. One, that every day is actually 4 24-hour days happening simultaneously, and that everything in human history is a conspiracy to cover this up.
So isn't it like noon and midnight are one day?
Wait.
I
have
opposites.
his days in my notebook. The 4 days are, and I quote, sun up, midday, sundown, and midnight, and all of these are happening at once. Now, in these days, he has, in the diagram, which is a sphere with a diamond-shaped square drawn through it with lines from the corners dividing it into 4.
Yeah.
He has the 4 most important people in all of history designated in where they are in the time cube.
Yeah.
They are Jesus.
Where's his position?
Jesus is positioned over, I didn't write down where.
Oh, damn it.
But he's over to like the right, so somewhere around like midday.
So he's like noon?
Yeah. Sundown is Socrates.
Okay.
I may be wrong on all this. Midday.
Midnight?
No, midday.
You already did midday was Jesus.
Oh, sorry. No, sunup was Jesus. Midday
midday.
is Socrates. Sundown is Einstein.
Okay.
And midnight, Bill and Hillary Clinton.
So, the most important people in the world.
At one point, Ethan looks like he just shit his pants from
We
learning
have
this.
Jesus, Socrates.
Again, Socrates, most important philosopher that's ever lived.
What was the next one?
Einstein. The most brilliant scientist of the modern era.
And the Clintons.
Murderous, lecherous hillbillies.
Okay, so I know it's popular theory that they killed Epstein, but they're
Like the
not
whole
that
Arkansas.
powerful.
I don't know, man. Look, I don't mean to sound like
They're not-
Clark here, but like, I kind of believe they killed a bunch of motherfuckers.
They're not as powerful as, say, the Kennedys were. Or the Bushes.
Okay, that's fair, because the Bushes go way fucking back.
I mean, Bill or Hillary weren't in the Bones Society. What are the Bones?
Skull and Bones?
Skull and Bones. They weren't in that, were they?
Bill was.
He was?
Yeah.
I didn't think he went to Harvard.
He probably did. I don't know. I didn't look into that because that wasn't a direction I thought we'd go in. Much like a D&D game, I'm having to make shit up on the fly when you go off my map.
I'm going off script, people.
God damn it.
Strap in.
Oh shit, we're fucked. So anyway, that's Time Cube in essence because like
So 4 days are happening simultaneously.
all at once, all at the same time.
But yet they have different phases of the day. I'm making hand gestures like I'm crazy here.
He never once said that.
So morning sunup is one day, but
Sure.
yet sunup happens every day.
guess. I don't fucking know, because he never... Anytime somebody cornered him on this shit, he just went off on a weird-ass tangent. I watched fucking interviews with this motherfucker, and, like, he started talking about, like, the baby dies turned into the child dies turns into the adult dies turned into the grandparent, and the grandparent dies, he turns into the child.
Yeah, so I heard him watching this shit. I did not watch it myself.
Yeah, Mike was smarter.
He is not caricaturing this. He is not playing this up. It is
legit impersonating this dude to the letter.
A 70 or 80-year-old dude from Florida that worked on a cotton field in his young days. Imagine that. Yeah,
I am
country as fuck.
Not just like making a joke
A
here.
schizophrenic country dude. Dude.
I swear to God. So, let's talk about the fact that, okay, happening at the same time, I need to point out that he was an atheist.
Yeah.
But he believed in that he was God.
So he didn't believe in himself.
You really gotta believe in yourself, dude.
I mean, how can you be an atheist? If you believe you're a god, you are a theist. You just believe in yourself. Being an atheist and claiming you're God means you have self-confidence issues.
This is true. Now, all right, what else have we got here in my notes before we move on to me actually reading from Time Cube to basically ruin... Are you looking
at the Time Cube?
Okay,
right
Mike's
now.
looking at the Time Cube.
So here's the thing: is that
I was right for the most part.
Yeah. So.
Oh, the Clintons were at sundown. I'm so sorry.
But so yeah, they're 24 hours. What day? What?
No,
I didn't drink enough for this.
Okay. I need to point out that someone once said, hang on, let me find this in my fucking notes.
So it says 1 24-hour day rotation is deadly erroneous. Deadly erroneous.
Yes, deadly erroneous.
So people die every day because of this error.
Yes. That's why we die.
Holy shit.
If we believe this, we're immortal as fuck. Except he died in 2015, and about a month after he died, the fucking URL expired. This is a website, timecube.2enp.com.
It's a backup.
It is an archive of the original Time Cube.
Because for a while there, you can only find it on the Wayback Machine.
That's true.
Until some kind person said, no, you must not go silently into the night.
Yeah.
And he propped up a backup.
Yeah.
Time Cube.
One of the best descriptions this whole fucking theory was, it's consistent, but defies rational examination.
So, defies rational examination.
Like, if you're sane, you're fucked.
So if these 4 days happen simultaneously, that means you can't perceive them unless you're insane. I broke Kevin. Kevin is just slack-jawed, and I either am brilliant or insane.
I don't know what the fuck to say to that. Shit, dude. I don't know.
But I like this line, like the text on your screen. In 1884, Meridian Time personnel. Like in 1884, there was
massive
conglomerate. It's those monks. It's those fucking monks again.
It's the Council of Nicaea.
No, it's those fucking monks again. Fucking with the timeline. But Meridian Time personnel met in Washington.
I want to point out something.
To change Earth time.
I need to point out something real quick here about Ray.
Yeah.
Totally against racial integration. This is one of the things that blew my fucking mind during the documentary. He was talking about the 4 corners of the Time Cube represent the 4 races. White people, black people, Asian people, and Indian people. And this was at a college presentation he did with a bunch of students.
So everyone, all the or these 4 races get different days? So there's a white day? So I'm on a different day than the black people and the Asian people and the Indian people?
I'm on Monday. The black people are Tuesday. And fucking shit, dude. I don't know. This guy's out of his fucking mind.
I know.
The point is, he brought this up in response to a question from someone. And the person said, what about me? I'm biracial.
Yeah.
To which Gene said, you're what? And then they had to fucking empty the auditorium because he refused to go on. Because apparently biracial people just don't exist in his fucking time cube.
Well, that would be like 2 days merging into one day. And you can't have that.
You can't. Okay. All right, so we've talked about that. He also offered $10,000 if anyone could prove him wrong. Now, that being said, I want to point out that proving wrong...
You have to prove it in his
work.
Framework.
In his framework of 4 days happening at once. All right?
Yeah, and when you're dealing with someone that delusional, you can never...
There's no winning.
Because then they'll say, well, what about the...
What about the day Jesus came down as a bird and he shit all over my face? I mean,
But in your describing it, because we've been talking about this.
We've been talking about this for fucking days.
My favorite thing, though, is the nomenclature he uses.
Oh, God. Okay, so let me... I'm going to read a few things from the Time Cube website. This is words from, as he says, the wisest man. He's not a doctor.
I know.
He was an electrician.
But and also let me say you've listened to a couple of other podcasts or things talking about him.
Oh, no, I haven't. I've listened to some videos,
whatever. But every time I heard someone saying his name, it's like Jean Grey. I think, is he a female X-Man?
Yeah. Okay, so this is him. You see his picture of him, Mike?
Oh, wow.
How would you describe this man to the people at home listening?
He is a stereotypical liquor store customer.
He looks like he just came in.
A white polo and a white hat. It looks some kind of...
It's all Time Cube.
Oh, it's Time Cube. But it looks like it could be from like some college.
Yeah, but it's all Time Cube merch.
Yeah.
Like, this motherfucker had his own merch.
Dude, I would wear a Time Cube shirt.
I would literally wear the fuck out of a Time Cube shirt at the liquor store. Because somebody that comes in would wear this.
He's someone's grandpa. I mean, someone is very concerned about him and his insane ramblings.
Actually, in one of the videos, his grandchild comes over. He doesn't talk about it with him. They don't even know, I don't guess.
Shit. I have an uncle that's going this direction.
Do you?
My Uncle Steve. Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude.
He claims... He has claimed that that's a dusty moth.
Yeah.
But he's claimed that he works with NASA.
Your Uncle Steve doesn't work with NASA.
No. I mean, I am concerned, but I just realized there's a certain type of old man brain rot that happens. You all of a sudden think that you're awesomer than you are.
I hope I'm that guy. I want to be that guy. I want to be I worked in Area 51, old man. Oh my God. Okay, Mike, here's a question. Just out of left field. What do you think he buys at the liquor store?
He buys...
Is he a rich and rare, or does he buy Jack Daniels? Or is he a vodka guy?
Yeah, he buys Aristocrat by the case.
Oh, shit. He's the guy that falls on the counter when he brings it off.
Well, I don't know.
And you have to help him to the parking lot.
Or he's a little healthier than that. Maybe he does buy what's that? Lord Calvert.
Oh, he's a Lord Calvert guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big ass
He
Canadian whiskey
He only
fan.
buys it by the case because he lives so far away.
Okay, so he's
So
like
he's
out in like
he's like a handle. He's like 2 handles a week.
so he's like out in Smith County and drives in to get the stuff and. Yeah, no, I could see that because that hat.
You see him every month, maybe
that
3
hat
weeks.
could easily say "Make America Great Again,"
Or it
and
could
that
say like Ole Miss, or
or even like I say we fish 5 days and work 2.
women want me, fish fear me.
Oh, that's him. That's him. Look at that face. That is a fish fear me face. So, all right. That being said, I have now fucking publicly destroyed this man's character. Let's go
I
down.
don't know. I think we've humanized him.
I think we have.
Before this, I thought he was just some crazy kook. Now he's just someone's crazy
Here's
grandpa.
the thing. I watched him like talking to his grandkids. And it's like just normal grandpa that maybe should be in the home talking to his grandkids. And he talked a lot about, we worked on the cotton field, blah 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 blah. It's like you had a hard life, and this is not what you deserve.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So let me read some stuff out loud, and when you feel the need to interrupt, please fucking do.
Sure.
Okay, in 1884, Meridian Time personnel met in Washington to change Earth time.
Which I read
You
that
read
'cause I
that.
like that.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
no, that's great. That is like everything you
But
need
those
to
are
know.
the fucking monks, I tell you.
Those are the monks, yes. First word said was that only one day could be used on Earth to not change the one day marshmallow.
Marshmallow. So we're getting into this nomenclature
We're getting,
thing.
we're getting his vocabulary.
He uses words that we're not smart enough to understand.
I'm not on his level.
Yeah.
One day marshmallow. So they applied the one day, ignored the other 3. The marshmallow time was... God damn it. The marshmallow time was wrong then. And it proved wrong today. The major lie has so much boring feed from its wrong. Did I say that or did I have a stroke, Mike?
You said it.
Okay. No man on earth has no belly button. It proves every believer on earth a liar. Children will be blessed for kissing of educated adults who ignore 4 simultaneously days. Same earth rotation.
That's one sentence. And also it's a bigger font too, and in purple.
I really want to point out,
Yeah.
what I discovered is
Look up Time Cube, because this website is something else.
you gotta see this to believe it. What I've learned is that this guy just updated. The older updates are at the bottom because he just kept adding new information with new text formatting every time.
But I have to give this dude some credit. He was like 70-something years old, right? And
And
he's
he figured out URLs. He figured out
assuming
HTML.
He's like doing
He did this
HTML.
himself.
Yeah, he's like writing this shit in Notepad, I have to assume. Because this was like late
97.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, 97, 98.
There's no fucking WYSIWYG that, that's not a commercial product.
And all the background is like this weird ass warped graph paper thing.
So dude, like, put in the work.
So how about this? After every... Oh, hell no.
That's
Okay.
a lot of shit.
Yeah, okay. Just
So-
interrupt as you see fit.
Well, so I was going to say, we should really talk about his vocabulary and nomenclature, because the marshmallow thing really brought it up.
Yeah,
There's
it
some
really
other
does. Like,
other stuff
he
you've
refers
brought
to
up.
marshmallow several times, but the one thing that keeps coming up over and over and over again is burritos.
Burritos.
Like, sometimes it's the burrito poles, and sometimes humanity is the burrito.
Are we all the burrito?
I don't fucking know because I'm not insane.
And then there's the tacos.
The tacos come up sometimes. Was he at a Mexican restaurant at the time?
Was he
have
hungry?
any- Was he hungry?
Low blood sugar.
It's-
Marshmallows.
Yeah.
Tacos, burritos. But something like I said, we've talked about it before a bit during the week in the preparation for this. He uses the word brilliant as a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get to that as I read some. I'm going to skim. I'm not reading the whole goddamn site because we don't have a day.
We don't have a 24-hour podcast, although that
Mind
would be
you,
interesting.
Mind you, if we had time cube hour, it'd be 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
We're already past 1 hour, so we're heading into an 8-hour podcast. I killed Mike. Okay, that's fine. All right, children will be. This is in a completely different font. Not font, but like typeset. It's large. It's purple. There's random underlining. Children will be blessed for kissing of educated adults who ignore 4 simultaneous days, same Earth rotation, practicing boring oneness upon Earth of quadrants, boring adult crime versus youth, supports lie of integration. I apologize, this is not our opinion, this is just time cube.
Does he mean integration?
Racial integration.
I was thinking of integration of the days.
Anytime he talks about integration, it is racial. He's definitely against racial integration. I'm just going to assume.
I mean, like
that's what he's talking about.
Like everybody, like most people's grandpas. Yes, he's racist. I mean,
well,
it's
yeah.
sad.
Andy's from Florida. He is basically geriatric Florida man.
Yeah.
Okay. Next sentence.
I mean, unfortunately, a lot of conspiracy theories comes back to racism.
It really does. Okay. So let me just preface this with, I'm just going to read this as is. 1, educated or most dumb. The number 1, most educated or most dumb. Not one human except dead one. Underlined.
That's a sentence.
That is a sentence that occurred. Man is paired, 2 half for self. All numbers.
2 half for self was the worst Fast and Furious movie.
It was. 1 of God is only 1/4 of God.
Sorry.
I think that killed Mike.
Yeah, no, that was quite a thing.
It came out of nowhere, didn't it? The next one may be the greatest sentence I've ever read in my life. Marshmallow a lie and world is lies.
So this marshmallow thing, he keeps using it, but I need a thesaurus to know what the fuck marshmallow means.
I wish that somewhere on this site there was a goddamn glossary or something.
What?
I want to know what he meant.
There's not enough context clues to understand what the fuck marshmallow means. I mean, seriously, he's used it 4 fucking times now at least.
You know what else he keeps bringing up in this? Belly buttons and navels. Case in point, navel connects 4 corner 4s.
Well, I mean, that is kind of a little more understandable in that, you know, the navel, center of your person. There's a lot of mysticism that is surrounding the navel.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's the center of the body and all that is.
Sure, yeah, no,
but the marshmallow thing escapes me.
God is born of a mother, she left belly B signature. I'm guessing that's belly button. Every priest has a Ma sign.
Ma sign?
And don't know what that means.
Yep, belly button proves 4 corners.
Your dirty lying teachers use only the midnight to midnight one day, ignoring 3 other days. Time to not foul. Already wrong marshmallow time.
So marshmallow time is... So maybe marshmallow is like the wrongness. We are on marshmallow time, which is the wrong time.
But marshmallows are good.
I know. I like marshmallows, but maybe they're fluffy and empty. They're empty.
But marshmallows are good.
The marshmallows are good, but they're like
empty calories.
Yeah, they're empty calories, so they're empty and fluffy. Like if you say someone's a marshmallow head, their head's empty.
I'm gonna read one sentence. This is a complete sentence in and of itself, underlined with periods and correct shit and everything. Belly button logic works.
Belly button logic works. But when do teenagers die?
I don't see teenagers alive. No record of their death.
Wait a minute. This is sounding a lot like Dun, dun, dun.
What?
QAnon.
Actually, you know what's sounding like is a lot like lyrics from a song by The Doors.
Oh, it's sounding like QAnon.
A little.
Adults eating the young.
I believe her name, Mama.
Every man born of woman. That's a sentence. Every man born of woman. That's
Yeah.
That's
Duh.
That's the most factual thing on this site.
Mama made belly buttons. Church was full of liars.
Well, broken clock, right? Twice a day, I guess.
One day God was wrong. Oh my God. Einstein was onest brain.
He has a lot of stock in Einstein. I mean, yes, Einstein had some really good scientific theories and definitely advanced human knowledge, but he was just one dude. And he was not 100% right.
No.
I
mean, like, he knew, like, he's like, oh, this is what I think's going on. I'm pretty sure this is right, but I may be wrong. Y'all come up with some more shit to make me right or not, because I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read some stuff that has some language that is offensive, that is technically offensive today. I'm going to go ahead and read it. Now, this was written by an 87-year-old man in Florida that died in 2015. We in no way endorse these viewpoints. Do you know 4 simultaneous days rotate insane 24 hours of Earth? You don't deserve to live on Earth. Americans are actually retarded from the religious academia taught oneism upon Earth of opposite poles covered by Mama Hole and Papa Pole pulsating opposite burritos.
Burritos.
We've finally come to burritos.
To burritos.
2 burritos. Opposite pulsating opposite
Papa Pole pulsating opposite burritos.
and it's Mama Hole Papa Pole. Which, okay, yeah, alright, that's some sex stuff. Let's admit it, that's some sex stuff.
They're pulsating opposite burritos.
Which, yeah, Mike just shook his head the same way that I did when I first read this.
I mean, that's...
Like, that is... I mean, like, okay, I'm gonna say this. If anyone out there has any idea what the fuck Gene is talking about, please go to supernaturalselectionpod.com and please click the contact link and tell me what the fuck.
Alternatively, I would say if you understand what the fuck he means, you should probably seek psychiatric help.
But yes, please seek help. Because this man was posthumously, I don't really want to stress this, posthumously diagnosed with schizophrenia. Actually, before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a thing where he said that basically people not understanding me have diagnosed me with schizophrenia because I'm so awesome.
Can I just say, the onest educated with their flawed one-eye perspective, opposite eyes overlay, Cyclops mentality inflicts static, non-pulsating logos as a fictitious unicorn, same burrito transformation.
Fictitious unicorn, same burrito transformation.
Now, we're not going to
Be a
read...
badass band name.
Fictitious unicorn, same burrito transformation. You're not wrong. I'm not reading any more of this website because I think we've pretty much gotten the point across, and we've already hit, within context, the points I wanted to bring up. The racism, the unicorns, and the burritos.
The burritos. Also
And
the marshmallows.
The marshmallows. I always forget the marshmallows, but it's like super fucking important. I have been trying for the better part of 4 days with my slightly warped mind that has studied the paranormal and the supernatural and just the generally strange for, God, like 30 years of my 45-year existence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck I just read, dude.
Look, when you earlier this week you said you were going to try to understand Time Cube, I said, good luck. You're going to become insane from it.
I'm not.
Have you lost any sanity points from this?
I don't think I can because I can't grasp it.
So you failed your no roll.
I am in denial. In the Call of Cthulhu sense, I have failed my knowledge roll. Mm-hmm. I'm in denial. And you know what? I couldn't be fucking happier.
And you were saying,
that.
Fuck that, that's a monkey.
Fuck that, that is a monkey. I don't even know how to go about.
I don't think this is like human processable. I mean,
I said earlier that a rational mind is incapable of understanding this.
You're right.
Like, you know, the other two I asked what logical reason you would have for coming up with the theories and the ideas and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker was nuts.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is sort of diagnosed schizophrenia.
It's diagnosed schizophrenia. Like, he went to a psychiatrist and they're like, you're fucking insane. And he was like, no,
you just don't
you're
understand.
insane and you don't understand.
Well, no, he wasn't you're understand, but he was like, you just don't understand the level I'm on. Which
I'm God and I don't believe in myself. Which I kind of want that on a t-shirt.
Could you imagine a
atheist God?
Well, no, not atheist, but a, you know, what's the word? What's the term I'm looking for?
I don't know, Mike.
A self-doubting God.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It's like, I could create these worlds, but I can't because I'm a piece of shit.
It's kind of like the Jackson Pessimist Club.
I'm a piece of shit. I can't do anything right, so I'm not going to do anything because I'm a piece of shit.
Do you remember that idea I had for the Jackson Pessimist Club? Yeah, we're going to start this club. Let's get. Oh, nobody's going to show up. Why the fuck bother?
So.
What if he was God?
Tangent time.
Okay, let's go on tangent time.
But you know, maybe that's what the fuck's wrong with God, if there is a God. He like did all this shit and fucked it up real bad. So he's now he's like, fuck, I can't do anything right. I'm just gonna do anything.
I'm gonna do another one.
Well,
over
not
here
even
that's better.
No, not even that. No, he's like, fuck it. I can't do shit right. I'm just gonna sulk about it. So God's over there sulking, letting the world do whatever the fuck it wants because he fucked it up the first time and he can't do shit right, and he realizes that.
Can I just say that that's how I see the world right now, and it's why I'm in therapy?
Well, no, you keep saying God. God. What if it's not malicious? It's just like he's like depressed. He's clinically depressed.
What if he turned to the world at just the right time and flipped me off?
No, it's just he's like, fuck, I can't do anything right. He's just all emo about it.
Okay, that's fair. So, all right, Mike. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm. We've definitely talked about it.
Fucking lot.
I feel bad for your editing skills.
I am gonna have to edit the ever-living shit out of this. But, how do you feel afterwards? Let me ask that. How's your brain?
I feel stupider, but that could be the alcohol.
It could be the alcohol, or it could be the alcohol and the fact that you just heard all this shit about Time Cube.
I have been assaulted mentally by this information.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, the other two guys, like, okay, they're advancing careers.
I mean, there was. So we had two examples of people that were, you know, either they were true believers and they believed what the fuck they were talking about, or they were, you know, they were coming up with theories to advance some agenda,
Or write up, sell a book or something.
Sell a book, get recognition from the government, their government.
Whatever.
Whatever the fuck, You could see there was materialistic
There was
gaining from that.
a rational
There could
goal.
be a rational goal for their theories and their advancing of these theories.
I'm not gonna lie.
And then there's Time Cube.
I feel really bad for Otis, Gene, Ray.
Yeah, because he's obviously, hopefully he didn't suffer too much. Obviously he had, but like I said, I have an uncle that has kind of a similar thing going, but at least, he can be a nice dude. I don't have a whole lot of contact with him, but
Gene,
he seems to be very generous.
Everything I've seen, he was actually a nice dude. And the thing is, he was definitely an old man. In the interview I saw with the guy that came from Australia to stay with him for a week.
Oh yeah, he had a disciple.
He had, oh god, I almost don't want to bring up. I kind of don't want to because it kind of makes it...
That is kind of tragic.
Really fucking sad because Otis, being the senile man that he was, turned against his disciple, and his disciple killed himself.
That is pretty sad.
That is real fucking sad, and I'm pretty sure Gene rationally didn't mean for this to happen.
Oh yeah.
Because he's an old man. He's obviously out of his goddamn mind, but like while the guy's interviewing him on this porch swing, Gene is just gradually sliding down. Like, you remember when I was drunk at Disney World?
Yeah.
And I kept sliding down in my chair.
Yeah.
Because it was the first time I was ever drunk. I was like, hey, Scott, well, how you know if you're drunk? And, like, I just kept sliding down and started singing Irish drinking songs. Mm-hmm. It was like that, but he just kept getting more pissed off.
Damn.
So, because he's like, I'm tired. Fuck you, you Aussie prick.
Jeez.
So, like...
Yeah, that can't be great, You finally get to sit down with your hero, the guy that made the world make sense. And then he is annoyed by your presence.
Just fucking geriatric as fuck and pissed off that he can't take his nap after Wapner.
Definitely Wapner.
Or like fucking Judge Judy.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Fuck was on. Point is,
whatever the old people do of the
as
time.
insane as this website is, it's obviously the ramblings of an insane old man.
Well, it's not obvious he was old, but yeah.
Okay, but it's obviously an insane person.
Yes.
And then when you find out he's in his 80s, 70s, and 80s, you're like, oh man, this just got like worse.
Yeah, see,
this isn't nearly as funny as I hoped.
Like I said, I
be.
thought it was like a middle-aged Asian dude. And I was like, haha, oh, he's just
he's just wacky man,
self-important and crazy. But then you find out it's an old dude who's like probably sunsetting. He is like just going down that hole, and you're like, what if that's me in 20 years?
Like, here's the thing, man. Like, when my dad died,
he held it together.
What if, for like the last 5 minutes in his sunsetting brain, as it's going out, it turned into Time Cube? Like, what if somehow...
admittedly, he didn't have like this was a creative outlet. Your dad didn't kind of do that.
I didn't give a shit about creative outlets because all he wanted to do was watch Pawn Stars.
So we don't know if he would have done something like this.
No.
The brain just like
no,
turning into pudding.
No,
but
I really don't think he would have. But like in those last 5 minutes before he left,
this was like 10 years of this dude.
Dude, here's a terrifying thought. What if like, you know how everybody wonders what... Go ahead.
What if Time Cube's inevitable for us all?
That's what I was
as
about to say.
As our brain turns to pudding in the last however long. Some people it takes 10 years. Some people it's 5 minutes. But eventually Time Cube comes for us all.
What if, like, the last thing you think is fucking Time Cube?
I mean, not even really Time Cube, but something like that. Some insane...
No, what if it's actually Time Cube?
So it's...
That's even worse.
It's real?
What if it's real and you realize it? Like, what if that is like, you know, when you... Like, the idea that when you die, the truth comes.
And the truth...
The fucking truth is Time Cube.
The truth is Time Cube.
Mike,
That's the best / worst episode of the Twilight Zone ever.
Mike, I need you to do me a very big favor.
Kill you before you have the Time Cube revelation.
5 minutes before it's over, put a bullet through my fucking head, please.
But what if the Time Cube revelation comes then, and you don't want it to end?
It needs to end. It doesn't matter what I want.
But if you're happy, who cares?
Me.
But you're happy in that moment.
No, fuck off. Blow my fucking brains out. Just blow my fucking brains out.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to live
sorry.
with the truth of Time Cube.
Kevorkian laws don't cover 9 millimeters.
Damn, Mike, I will have a tattoo on my back. Mike is allowed to blow my brains out at the end of my life because fuck Time Cube.
It's DNR. It's not, please fucking shoot me.
God damn it, Mike. Don't ruin my night.
I didn't ruin your night. Time Cube did.
ruined my night. This is why you're the best co-host sometimes. So,
I guess that's it. I mean, I really can't think of anything else to say.
There's nothing else to follow that up.
I mean,
We've come to the end.
We've given them all the pathos we could. I mean, in the end, they're flawed people. I mean, I don't have any animosity. Although, you know,
The Russian dude, I can be kind of pissed off.
the Russian
at.
dude, it is a little,
That's
scummy. I mean,
can
it depends.
I hear slurping noises when I read the new chronology.
He definitely has a Russian Putin daddy kind of complex going.
Do you like the way my tongue works? Vladimir Putin, is it good for you?
Putin daddy, recognize me.
Oh, Putin daddy, please. Oh, God, we're going to get murdered by the KGB.
Well, at least we haven't talking about, what's the Mexican Mafia, Zeta 13?
Oh, we ain't going that, dude. Shut the fuck up. We're dead. We're dead. You killed us both. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hit him in the head. We love you, anyone in Mexico. So, don't do it.
I'm not.
Whatever you gotta
I'm
fucking
backing
think,
away.
don't do. Okay.
It was a
please
joke.
do. Okay. It's all a joke. I know you kill comedians, but don't kill us. Mike said nothing.
I give you permission to cut that if it's not funny when you're sober.
Oh, I'm cutting the shit out of that.
It might be the funniest thing ever and you leave it in.
You know, you're right. So, anyway, thank you all for listening to us. I want to once again thank everyone for all the support we've been getting here lately and all the listens. You guys are amazing. I cannot thank you enough.
It's doing a lot better than our last podcast attempt.
Oh, God. Yeah. No. We had another podcast. Let's not go into that.
No.
So, if you would like to look up more information, we're going to have a blog soon so I can put show notes about each episode and some thoughts. Mike, if you would like to put any thoughts forward, please let me know.
Okay.
So, you can find all that information at supernaturalselectionpod.com. You can hear the show before it goes live on your podcast stuff on deviantbehaviorradio.com. Our eternal producer and benefactor. We have a contact link where the form where you can suggest show notes or let us know what you think. We have a Twitter, SupernatPod.
We do.
We do.
Interesting.
And we also have a Facebook page if you look up Supernatural Selection.
I'm going to throw something out there.
Okay.
I've not run this by you, but I want to stimulate discussion.
So fondle them balls.
I will guarantee that the first 5 submissions we get to our email address, we have an email address, right?
Yep. And it goes straight to it from the form.
As long as it's like brief and to the point, will be read on air.
Okay. What is it?
That's what it is. It's that
Okay.
the first 5 submissions we get will be read on air per episode.
Okay.
So send us shit.
Send us some shit. We'll talk
Suggestions, comments, discussion. Come on.
Fucking
Send it at us.
arguments. What the fuck ever.
We're fucking wrong. Tell us
why
fucking
we're
wrong.
wrong. God damn it. We want to know.
Suck our dicks too.
We will. I'm engaged. I don't want.
Well,
my
you know
dick
what I
sucked.
mean, metaphorically.
Suck Mike's dick.
Our metaphorical dick.
Suck Mike the Skeptic's
You want
dick.
to suck up to us? Do that too.
Suck that dick.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
You're getting a little
sorry.
fun. You're getting a little crazy there.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
I'm just saying,
Anyway.
either way, you don't agree with us? Tell us.
The point is, you can find all this information at supernaturalselectionpod.com. You can find us on Twitter at supernatpod. And we actually have a Facebook page. If you look up Supernatural Selection, you will probably find us on Facebook. Or some kind of a weird porn fetish. I don't know. Just look for the frog. Look for Enrique the Frogman.
Did you just make up that name?
I think Kit named him.
Nah.
My fiance may have named Enrique the Frogman.
But if you're finding supernatural porn, wouldn't that be like the ring girl from the well? All right.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week for another episode of Supernatural Selection. So until then, stay frosty.
I'm going to eat my pizza.
Mike's going to eat his pizza. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not eat Mike's pizza.
Supernatural Selection has been a production of DeviantBehaviorRadio.com. You can find it and more shows broadcast weekly at DeviantBehaviorRadio.com. Our theme music is Screensaver by Kevin MacLeod. It is used through Creative Commons license, and more of his music can be found at incompetech.filmmusic.io.